You're doing it right now, not reading, not thinking, just watching, a candle on a table, logs splitting apart in a fireplace, a bonfire eating the dark, and for some reason you can't look away. Your shoulders drop, your breathing slows, your mind goes somewhere ancient. No one ever taught you to do this. You just did. Every human does, and the reason is written into 1,000,000 years of your DNA. In 2014, anthropologist Christopher Lynn at the University of Alabama sat 226 adults in front of a crackling fire video and measured their blood pressure. After just 15 minutes, it dropped significantly. Heart rate slowed. The longer people watched, the calmer they became. A dose-dependent response, like fire was medicine and time was the dosage. But the effect only worked when the fire had sound. A silent fire on screen? Almost nothing. Add the crackle, the pop, the hiss, and the body surrendered. Lynn concluded this wasn't just relaxation, it was an evolutionary reflex. Our nervous systems still respond to fire the way our ancestors did, as a signal that means safety. And our ancestors needed that signal desperately. Wonderwerk Cave, South Africa. Deep inside, 30 meters from the entrance, archaeologists recently found burned bones in sediment layers dating between 1.07 and 1.79 million years old. No wildfire reaches that far into a cave. Something carried fire in there, probably Homo erectus. They couldn't create fire yet, but they could harvest it. Grab a burning branch from a lightning strike and walk it into the dark. That single act changed everything. Because fire did something no other tool could. It turned night into day. Before fire, darkness was a death sentence. Leopards, hyenas, saber-toothed cats owned the night. When the sun dropped, early humans huddled against rock walls and waited, terrified for dawn. Fire broke that cycle. It pushed back predators. It lit the cave. And for the first time in evolution, there were hours in the day with nothing trying to kill you. So what did our ancestors do with those hours? They talked. Anthropologist Polly Wiessner spent 40 years studying the hoansi Bushmen of the Kalahari, one of the last hunter-gatherer societies on Earth. In a landmark study, she compared daytime talk versus nighttime talk around fire. The difference was staggering. Daytime, complaints, planning, gossip, conflict. But at night, 81% of firelight conversation was stories. Hunts, love, people in distant camps they hadn't seen in years. The fire didn't just light the night, it lit the imagination. Wiessner argued these stories built empathy, transmitted culture, and let people rehearse the lives of others, what psychologists call theory of mind. This wasn't entertainment, this was survival. A band that could cooperate, trust strangers, pass knowledge across generations, that band lived. Fire didn't just keep us warm, it made us social, but fire also did something to our bodies. Harvard primatologist Richard Wrangham proposed that cooking with fire literally built the human brain. Raw food is hard to digest. Cooking breaks down proteins and starches before they hit your stomach, releasing far more calories with far less effort. That surplus energy went to the most expensive organ in your body, the brain. 2% of your body weight, 20% of your calories. When Homo erectus appeared around 1.8 million years ago, brain size jumped 42%. Jaws shrank, teeth got smaller, guts shortened. All consistent with a species that had stopped eating raw and started cooking. Not every scientist agrees, but the anatomical shift is real. Something flooded the hominin body with extra energy right when fire appeared, and that bigger brain craved fire even more. Fire is what neuroscientists call a soft fascination stimulus. It flickers unpredictably enough to keep the brain engaged, but rhythmically enough to activate the default mode network. The system your brain uses for daydreaming, self-reflection, creative thinking. The same network that lights up during meditation. Staring at fire is, neurologically, a kind of trance. Your brain enters a state between alertness and sleep, exactly where insight happens. This may explain something remarkable. Every human culture on Earth independently built rituals around fire. Zoroastrians built temples to eternal flames. Hindu cremation returns the body to Agni, god of fire, the Olympic torch, the Catholic vigil candle, the Jewish Shabbat flame, Aboriginal Australian fire ceremonies stretching back 65,000 years. No one copied anyone. Every civilization looked at fire and said, "This is sacred, that's not coincidence. That's biology speaking through culture." Even now, stripped of survival need, fire still owns us. A University of Tokyo study measured brainwaves of people watching real flames versus ED simulations. Real fire produced measurably different alpha wave patterns, the signature of deep relaxation. The fake fire? Nothing. Your brain knows the difference between a flame and a performance. Maybe that's the deepest answer. You stare at fire because fire stared back first. For over 1 million years, it was the last thing your ancestors saw before sleep and the first thing they reached for at dawn. It cooked your food, guarded your children, and gave you the hours that became language, art, and memory. Every campfire you've ever sat beside is an echo of the oldest human ritual, the one that made every other ritual possible. So the next time a flame catches your eye and you can't look away, don't fight it. You're not wasting time. You're visiting the place where being human began.